Breaking news. Onyema in trouble as U.S. court issues fresh arrest warrant for the AP's boss over fraud and money laundering. Here the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to Biafra Unite channel / television this very moment. Today's date is 12th of November 2024, and I have breaking information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from where you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people, I don't want to talk too much or even analyze this. I just want to read in details from a Zoom media platform, and maybe I might have one or two words for Onyema. As you can see, I will be reading this very news from the Nigeria lawyer. And according to their title, they said, U.S. court renews arrest warrant for AP CEO over 20 million fraud case. Prosecutors add 2 new charges. Wow. You can see the date is actually November 12, 2024. So we are talking about current news. A United States court has reissued an order for the arrest of Onyema, the founder, CEO of APs Limited, over 20 million bank fraud case that has been pending against him for 5 good years. Wow. The Federal District Court for Northern Georgia, Atlanta, renewed the arrest warrant on 9 October following the addition of more charges to the case against Mr. Onyema and his co-defendant, Ejirogene Egaga, the airline's chief of administration and finance. U.S. authority files the superseding indictment on 8 October, alleging new counts of obstruction of justice and conspiracy to obstruct justice. The 2 counts added to the pre-existing 36 count of conspiracy, money laundering, bank fraud, credit application fraud, and identity theft. The superseding indictment brought the counts to 38. Again. On the day the superseding indictment was filed, Assistant U.S. Attorney Christopher Huber filed for a new arrest warrant after the first one issued against Mr. Onyema in 2019. On the following day, 9 October, a deputy clerk of the court signed and delivered the new arrest warrant to the U.S. Marshal, the American body that carries out the arrest of fugitives. I told you I do not want to analyze anything. I'm going to read the news. I know the reason why I said so. Just let's continue. It will be recalled that the preparatory to the filing of the charges in 2019, Russell Vineyard, a magistrate at the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, issued a corresponding warrant of arrest for Mr. Onyema and Egaga in Canada. American prosecutors had sought the warrant to enable Canadian law enforcement authorities to take the suspect into custody if cited in their jurisdiction. In another arrest warrant issued on 19 November 2019, Justin Anand, an American magistrate of the same court, ordered the U.S. Marshal Service to take them into custody. Again. In the charges pending since 2019, the U.S. authorities accused Mr. Onyema of moving suspicious funds from Nigeria to American bank accounts between 2017 and 2018, with the funds allegedly disguised as being meant to be used to purchase aircraft. Mr. Onyema and his co-defendant, Mr. Egaga, allegedly organized the fraud by applying for export letters of credit for the transfer of funds from a Nigerian bank account to the bank account of Mr. Onyema's Atlanta, Georgia-based firm, Springfield Aviation LLC, between 2016 and 2017. I have only one word for Onyema, and I will say one thing that has to do with, of course, the Zoological Republic. So pay attention till the very end of it. The defendants, according to U.S. prosecutors, applied for the funds purportedly for the purchase of aircraft by APs from Springfield Aviation. Both APs, a major Nigeria commercial airline, and the US-based Springfield Aviation are owned by Mr. Onyema. Prosecutors also said the aircraft referenced in each of the export letters of credit sent to the American banks was never owned or sold by Springfield Aviation. Hey! Again, they said the defendants made false statements and reports and willfully overvalued property to influence the actions of the American banks. Wow! Mr. Yaya was said to have sent the false documents, including fabricated purchase agreements, bills of sales, and valuation documents to Ebony Mayfield to sign and submit to the respective banks in support of the letters of credit. I'm just reading, not me the talker, but I have one thing to say at the very end of it. Mr. Onyema had engaged Miss Mayfield, who was at various times a bartender, restaurant waitress, and nightclub dancer in 2016 to act as a manager of Springfield Aviation and enter into contracts in the firm's behalf. Wow! Wow! Prosecutors said she had no connection to the aviation business outside of her role with Springfield Aviation and had no education, training, or licensing in the review and valuation of aircraft, including aircraft components. Now, wow. I must finish this very story. This very story, I will finish it. In October 2022, the U.S. District Court sentenced Miss Mayfield to 3 years probation for her roles in helping to facilitate the alleged fraud. So that means somebody connected to this very story, but for now I'm calling it story. Someone in America, American citizen, connected to this very story has already been sentenced and served for 3 good years in prison. Somebody that, onye so committee for herself goes in ganke, yeah, because now just third party, I just may attach to pretend. You understand? So, but I said I'm not going to analyze anything. Let me finish. Prosecutors continue to allege that Mr. Onyema founded and used Springfield Aviation to facilitate large transfers of funds from his Nigeria bank accounts to the United States. Many of them, all these politicians you see, Mr. Onyema allegedly moved about $15 million from Springfield Aviation's account with a Wells Fargo Bank branch in Atlanta, Georgia, to his personal savings account with the same bank in 27 transactions in 2017. Remember one thing as we proceed, that whenever you speak about Biafra, this set of people will come against you, because Nigeria has provided, enabling environment for criminal activities. I'm telling you, remember this one word, that anytime you dare speak about Biafra and breakup of the zoo, this set of people will demand for your head, because you want to destroy an entity that has provided enabling environment for criminals, an entity that aid and abet criminals. I am not saying that Onyema has done it to. I'm not analyzing about someone Onyema. I'm just giving you instances and reality on ground. Each of the 27 transactions stands alone as a charge of money laundering. We are talking about 38 charges. In May 2019, upon discovering that he was under investigation in the Northern District of Georgia for bank fraud, Mr. Onyema and Eyaya allegedly directed the Springfield Aviation manager, Miss Mayfield, to sign a key business contract, but also specifically told her to not date the document. In October 2019, Onyema allegedly caused his attorney to present that same contract, now falsely dated as being signed on 5th May 2016, prior to the bank fraud that began in 2016, to the government in an effort to stop the investigation and unfreeze his bank accounts. The submission of the alleged false documents formed the basis for the new count of obstruction of justice and one count of conspiracy to obstruct justice in the superseding charges. Again, the only word I have for Onyema, just one word, I said one, is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, serve the zoo and come back in shame. They have your records. So those who always get mad whenever they hear about Biafra, and you are a Biafran, Igbo, these are the people that benefit from the criminal entity known as the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. I'm telling you, I am not the judge. I know so Onyema don't do am, but keep an eye on this case. Thank you, my people. Toast and make it go viral.